Roberto here for another video review. It's an Australian import, it's the Dairy Milk Top Deck Bites. Yeah, look at these, from B&M these ones, yeah, so, wow, very excited for these ones. Yeah, Top Deck, and as you don't know, it's still around in Australia. It used to be around in the UK. Well, I've not seen it for years and years, I'm assuming it's not in the UK anymore. Basically, it was sort of dairy milk chocolate with a white chocolate topper. It's still around in Australia, they still do it. So well done to them, and they've done these Top Deck Bites as well. They're available in B&M, so really good. You can see they've got the sort of new design on the background here. It's new to the UK, and basically pinched the Australian design essentially, so you can see sort of watermark behind the scenes there. You get that in the UK dairy milks now and things like this. The dairy milk chocolate balls with Dream white chocolate filling. So Dream still exists in Australia as well. So in the UK we have Cadbury White now. Dream was discontinued a fair few years back. So it's interesting. So Australia very different than the UK as far as Cadbury's concerned. So well worth checking out really on the import shop, and in B&M as well. You get plenty of interesting bars in there from Cadbury in Australia. Really different set of bars, and I'll put a link to place all my Cadbury Australia reviews up there as well, in other Australian bars as well. So check those out. Interesting set of chocolates for sure. All right, so as you can see, sort of basically rather than being, I don't know, you feel like maybe it should have been white chocolate surrounding milk chocolate, because the Top Deck would still sort of, I don't know, been a bit, I don't know, felt a bit more applicable if that was the case, because it would have been surrounded by the white. That's how they normally look there. You can see the sections there. I guess you could argue that the, either could be the top or bottom there, but it's generally the white chocolates at the top. So you would have said really it should be a milk chocolate middle surrounded by white chocolate. But I quite like the way there's this partition in the middle. I think that's interesting. Probably where they've been sealed together, but yeah, I quite like it. Australian products do give the calories in kilojoules rather than kilocalories, but there is a handy conversion here per 100 grams at least. It's basically a quarter really, roughly. So we'll give what it's, well, I can't really, there's stickers in the way. To peel them off, it never peels off properly, so we'll just do it here. So it's got an official imported description there. Dairy milk chocolate balls 70% with Dream white chocolate filling 30%. Nutritional information, typical values per 100 grams. Energy 542 calories, 31.2 grams of fat, of which saturates 18.6. You almost work out as a quarter. 100 grams, it's 542 there. 2,270. So yeah, that is roughly a quarter. Okay, 114 gram bag, it says. Does it say it's right to see? It is there? Yeah, there it is there. Okay. It's got the cocoa life as well, 100% sustainably sourced cocoa. I'd always look into what sustainably sourced means. I mean, it's better for the environment, but doesn't necessarily mean it's good for the environment. So I'd always check that out. Of course, the implication is that it is, but as I say, if it's important to you, I would definitely look into it further. Alright, let's have a see then. So what have we got? So sustainable source cocoa, as I mentioned. Cadbury believes that sustainable source cocoa does good for farmers, their communities and our planet. Okay, they believe it does, but does it? That's the question, isn't it? It's no good them believing it. The equivalent of a glass and a half of full cream milk in every 200 grams of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate. Well, it's 114 grams this is, so there isn't a glass and a half in this one. There's a bit of misleading that, isn't it? They used to mention that glass and a half a lot more in the UK. I've not seen that mentioned in the UK for some time. I'm sure it still is, but I think you still have that small print on the bars. But I feel like I've not seen it as much, emphasised as much as it used to be. Okay, Cadbury's quality. If this product does not meet your expectations, if you have any inquiries, get in touch with them. It's various addresses. It's Australia, New Zealand websites as well. Okay, all right. So a lot of the other stuff's hidden by this sticker, as I say, but I think we got the gist of it. All right, without further ado, I think we need to give them open. So let's do it. Let's give them an open. Okay, everyone, I'm going to give these Cadbury Dairy Milk Top Deck Bites an open. Yeah, so Dairy Milk chocolate balls with Dream white chocolate fillings. Top Deck and Dream still both exist in Australia, thanks to Cadbury there being basically different than the UK. So very interesting range of products there. We'll check them out. And as I say, I have put a link to playlist in the top right hand corner of all my Cadbury Australia reviews and things like this, and other Australian products as well. But yeah, that's for these ones. Well, let's give them an open, shall we? I don't think there's a dedicated ease of opening to these. I might have to just get into them, unfortunately. I might open like a crisp packet, but we'll see. Let's give it a go. Yeah, there we go. I think that's opening. Yeah, so time recording as well. Speaking of playlists, I've done about more than 920 reviews. So if you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. In the top right hand corner, as I say, I'll put a link to a place of all those other reviews and related ones like I mentioned, so go check those out. Hopefully enjoy those too. Normally I would have been pouring these out while I was doing that spiel, but I mean, look at this, there's nothing in there. I mean, I realise they've bunched up a bit at the bottom, but I mean, that's just an empty bag. I mean, that's one of the worst. Well, not well. Yeah, it is one. I mean, it's perhaps not, I don't want to say it's the worst, but it's one of the worst. I mean, that should just be. Well, I'll finish what I was saying. It's one of the worst examples of just nothing in a bag that I've seen. I mean, it could just be in a bag this big. I mean, why is it? I mean, well, we know why it's in a bag this size it is, just for shelf presence, and obviously because of the weight, it is similar to other packs this size, I guess. But I mean, come on, it's just there's just nothing in this bag. It's just so. We talk about the environment and stuff like this. I mean, imagine the amount of petrol they'd save and stuff like that if they filled the boxes in their cars with, 3 packs or 4 packs of these instead of 1 because of the space it takes up. So are they that bothered about the environment? You know what I mean? This is what I mean about, I would check these things out because they definitely, they only take it so far basically as to their sort of care for the environment. You know what I mean? But concern for the environment. But like I say, definitely these are just too big. This is just too big for this. I mean, they're not the only ones. Lots of other bars do it that I've seen, but not to this extent. Only a couple of others have really been this bad. I mean, even though these are sort of bunched up at the bottom, they still wouldn't go that high, even when not. And even then, look, they're pretty much, there's no doubles there. They're all singular there, and they're still hardly going up, that far in the back. And the ones that are, there's only one of them or 2. I mean, it could be at least half the size, this pack. At least half the size. So basically, when they're distributing these out throughout the country using petrol, they could basically be putting 2 of these for, they could double the amount of shipping across, so save basically half the amount of space it's using, which you could argue could then equate to half the amount of petrol they're using. I mean, I'm sure it's not that simple, but you get the idea. Yeah. Alright, let's see how many there are anyway. A bit warm in the UK today, into summerish weather. Not massively sunny outside, but it's getting warmer. Alright, so there's none left in there. There we are. Okay. Alright, so here we go. So this is how many we've got. So, I mean, this is the bag size, and this is how many we've got. Do you know what I mean? It's just not right, is it? So how many do we actually have then? So I think we've got 15, I think. They're rolling all over the place, as you would imagine they would do, being spherical. I'm trying to keep them separate just so I can... Anyway, well, we've roughly got just 5, 10, 15. What did it say how many was in the pack on average? What did it actually say? I think it did. Serving size 25 grams, approximately 3 units. Maybe it didn't. Don't sometimes say. I missed out there. Milk chocolate contains cocoa size 28%, milk size 24% minimum. White chocolate contains cocoa size 23%, milk size 31% minimum. Okay, there we go. Forgot to say that before. It doesn't really say what the average amount in each pack is. At least not unless it's under there. So the stickers don't come off very easily. So anyway, could probably work it out by weight and stuff like that. Well, 3 of them is 25 grams, it says. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 125 grams, that basically equates to. We just said the packet itself is 114 grams. That's a bit strange, isn't it? I'm not sure what to make of that. I might get my old scales out and give it a test. Let's do that. Right, so I've got the old scales out here. Apologies if they're a bit messy. It's just the such is life in the kitchen. Alright, so let's put them on. Right, so let's, what do we do here? What's the best way? So let's move these off the plate. I'm just moving these to one side. So there's 15 of them. The reason I'm doing this is because we want to get the weight of the plate. Alright, so yes, there we go. So let's have a look. So can we right, 905. Alright. Okay. Put these on then. So let's see if 3 do. So they are about 25 grams, 24 in this case. So it should be more than 114 grams here. Yes, look at that. So we've got, so it was 905, wasn't it? So what have we got there? That's 119 grams there. So it's slightly more. I think the 25 grams, basically it's 24 grams is the gist of it, rather than 25, which is what it says on here. So serving size 25 box 3 units. So it's a bit, I don't know, it's 24 grams basically, and that's why it's not focusing in now. Will it focus in? Can I get it to focus in? I don't know. There we go. Yes, there we go. It's focused in now. Okay, yes, that's why it's a bit less, but it's basically 11 grams heavier is the gist of it. Okay, right, well, let's get rid of all this stuff then, if we've got the gist of that. Okay. Right, okay, so let's give these a measure then. So they're pretty spherical. They're not perfect spheres, I don't think, but they're pretty close. Close enough. It's about 2.17 centimetres in diameter there. Let's try another one. That's about 2.3. So obviously they do vary slightly, but there we go. So they're all roughly the same, you know, but clearly going to be slightly different. Let's give one a chop then, see what it's like on the inside. And there's a bit of a seam there. If you can see the seam on it, just in obviously in the equator. But I think I'll cut across the seam so we can see what it's like. It should look like it does on the cover then, basically, on the packet. Oh, bit tough. Okay. So there we go, the other ones fell apart a bit, but you can see they're sort of covered in a top of chocolate and sealed together. So they're clearly sealed with the milk chocolate. That's obviously added later, and it's probably warm. And then so it seals it together a bit better. That's probably why they do that, really. Which is fair enough. It means they don't have to fill it in afterwards. It does obviously work quite well. It's quite an interesting way of doing it. It's melting on my finger a bit there. Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? That nice set of white chocolate, and I think a nice shape. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And it seems to have a bit of white around the edge as well. I think that might be a mistake on that one, but there we go. Right, let's give it a bit of a smell. Smells nice. Smells quite white chocolatey, actually. Interesting. I'm quite excited for these ones. I think they look very interesting, but obviously more white chocolate than milk chocolate, which is a shame, but I think you got that from the gist of the front, didn't you, really? But it would be nice if there's perhaps a bit more white chocolate. Let's just say, yeah, milk chocolate balls 70% with white chocolate filling, 30% it says. So yeah, dairy milk white chocolate balls 70% with dream white chocolate filling, 30%. So 70-30 is the ratio there. 7-3. Okay, all right. Well, let's give these a taste. We need to try them out, and why not? Let's give them a taste. Okay, everyone, going to give these dairy milk top deck bites. Basically, dairy milk chocolate balls with dream white chocolate filling. A taste. Import from Australia. These ones found in B&M at the moment in the UK. So very excited for these. These spheres, as you've seen, if you watched up until this point, you would have seen that they're spheres of goodness. And that's the partition we did a minute ago as well. There we go. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. So 70-30 is the proportion of milk to white chocolate. So less white chocolate, but there we go. All right, let's give it a taste. Let's do it. Let's give it a go. Very excited for this one. Definitely tastes the white chocolate, which is good. Not bad, actually, not bad. Definitely, I think the dairy milk in Australia is not as good, not as strong, certainly, as UK dairy milk. And I think that's definitely reflected in this by the fact that you can taste the white chocolate more so than you can the milk chocolate, which you would think wouldn't be the case considering it's a 70-30 distribution. But because the dairy milk in Australia is just a bit, it's just a bit weaker. There's no velvety taste like there is in the UK. So it does, yeah, it's just not as good. But that does work in its favour in this case because you get more of the white chocolate taste. So which I think, I think the distribution is pretty good in that respect. Not bad. I mean, I do feel like, you kind of, it's hard to say what the problem with this is. It's not perfect by any means, let's put it that way. The problem with it is that the milk chocolate, because it's not so strong, you're not really getting much what's there, basically. You're getting quite a bit of milk, white chocolate, but then, would it be better just to have sort of just something that's just white chocolate? I'm not sure. I do like the way that obviously it is tempered a bit by the fact you got the milk chocolate there. But I'm not really tasting much milk chocolate, even though it's there. There's something there. It's occupying space in my mouth and it's affecting the taste, but I'm not really tasting it. Not noticeably anyway. It's a weird one. I think it's just the Cadbury Dairy Milk Australia chocolate. It's just a bit flat. That's the best way to put it. It's flat, yeah. So, interesting one, but I think it does work to an extent in this because you are getting to taste the white chocolate. I think if this was in the UK and you'd mix Dairy Milk UK with with Cadbury White, I think the white would definitely be overpowered. I mean, you might still be able to taste it, but I feel like it would be very much overpowered. But I still think it probably would taste nice because I feel like the Dairy Milk, I think you'd still get enough of the white chocolate, but I think you get more of the Dairy Milk taste because it's so much more distinct in the UK and it's a lot more full, a lot more velvety. Whereas in Australia, it's just, as I say, flat is the best way to describe it. It's just come to me now, and I think that really does describe it perfectly. The Cadbury Dairy Milk Australia taste, just flat. It's just not. Yeah, it's not there. So, but still, that's perhaps giving it a slight disservice, as I say, because the fact it's a combination of white and milk chocolate in this case. It does work because the milk chocolate's not quite as strong, and it does mean the white chocolate's there, and you can tell it's not just white chocolate. But I do wonder, would it not just be better just to have just white chocolate? I'm not, and yeah, because I don't really feel like I'm getting a milk chocolate kick or hit from this, so difficult one. Nonetheless, I feel they're quite nice. I think they look great. I mean, as I say, they are quite, substantial. But again, I don't feel like I'm getting the taste for the substance. Really, there's substance and there's taste down here. You know what I mean? So, and then the fact that the bag was really, it really should be half the size. I mean, there's no excuse for being this big. I mean, we saw the 15 that fit in here were literally at the bottom, and they weren't all that bunched up at the bottom either. They were kind of, in one. There's just one on each. There's just one ball each. They weren't doubled up or anything like that to bulk out that way. So that was a bit poor. So these ones, yeah, I feel they're okay, but ultimately, I feel like they're a nice treat to have and things. But I feel like ultimately they're just not much taste substance there. There's a lot of substance there as in actual matter, but but there's not much taste there really, unfortunately. And I think that's because the Dairy Milk is the part in Australia that's the weaker part, as I say, and that's 70% of each ball. And that's pretty much 70% of not really much taste, and that's the problem with it. As I say, there's something there, and it does offset the white chocolate to an extent, but that's about it. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. It doesn't compare to UK Dairy Milk at all, really. And I think people who didn't realise it's imported product will probably be quite disappointed, actually. But again, it might work to its favour because it might mean that the white chocolate does have a chance to come out a bit more. But I feel like there's got to be a happy medium there between this extreme and probably what the UK one would be. Although having said that, I would still like to try the UK one, and I think it definitely would be nicer than this. I think, yeah, for sure. With the UK equivalents, Dairy Milk and Cadbury White. Even though it might be debatable as to whether Cadbury White's better than Cadbury Dream Australia, that's another matter. But nonetheless, I still think the other product would be a good one, or better than this one at least. So having said all that, it does all sound negative. It's not that bad, but it's just nothing special about it. It's still quite a nice experience. You still get some white chocolate with it. You still get a white chocolate hit, but you really feel like you're being a bit shortchanged with the milk chocolate, basically, which is 70% of each sphere. So, yeah. So I think for me, the average chocolate product, which is 3 out of 5, is still nice, but there's just nothing that will blow your socks on. I think that's kind of where this one sits around, really. So it's just not. It just could be a lot better, and it's just not going to blow your socks off, but it still tastes nice. But yeah, it could definitely never be more than 3 out of 5. So 3 out of 5. Okay, guys, so we enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the YouTube member program. Link for that's in the description, as is a link for the Discord server. You can check out the links that are appearing now on the screen. If they're not there now, they will be there shortly. It's a great way to explore my other videos. Leave a like as well, and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment or free also. It's always great to hear from you, it really is, and I always do my best to reply. And have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.